It might not feel like it, but it is football season. And since football's back, bet that is back. I'm Alex Glaze. We're going to talk some ball and some gambling. And as always, we're not offering any advice. This is only for entertainment purposes. And joining me this week is Barrett, Sallee of CBS Sports, one of my favorite guys in all the media. So Barrett, thank you for taking the time to join me.
My pleasure, and my picks are for more than.
Okay, well, those are your
picks. You have to have that disclaimer. I think everybody should follow me.
Okay, well, we're going to start with a segment that I'm going to call Fade or Follow. Barrett, I'm going to throw out some picks. You tell me if you are going to fade or follow my picks. It's pretty simple. And we're going to stick with college football for this segment. And I'm going to start with Georgia Tech taking on Florida State. And for that game, my pick is the under. I know it's not a lot of fun. I hate being the under guy. Nobody likes the under guy because the under guy is no fun, and I'm a fun guy. I root for fun and points, but I just don't see a lot of fun and points in this game for a number of reasons. I think Florida State, they got a new coach, new system. So I think that combined with the offseason that all of college football's had with no spring ball, limited practice, and funky practice types because of COVID-19. I think there's going to be some early hiccups, and I think there's going to be a couple of teams that have those kinds of problems early. And then when you look at Tech, I'm just the kind of guy I have to see it to believe it, and last year Tech just didn't make me believe that they have an offense that can put up points and move the ball efficiently, consistently. So all things considered, I'm going to be that guy and just be rooting for no touchdowns. I know. It's no way to start off. It's no way to start off the college football season. I know it's technically week 2, but it's no way to start off the college football season with the under. But
I like the under guy.
You're gonna fade or follow that pick? Okay, so you're going to follow it? Okay.
I'm definitely going to follow. I just don't think – I like Jeff Collins at Tech, but when you're going from a triple option to a spread, it does not work very well. It's going to take time with a limited offseason. You stunt that growth a little bit, not a little bit, I think a lot. And then Florida State, I think James Blackman, their quarterback, kind of gets a bad rap because of what happened in 2017 when DeAndre Francois got injured against Alabama, and James Blackman clearly was not ready for it as a true freshman. That is not who James Blackman is. He can play. He's got some really good players outside, including Tamaron Terry. And then defensively, that front seven is phenomenal. And when you factor in what's going on in the rest of the country and the fact that you had a lot of teams taken out of the equation, that might be one of the best defenses in the entire nation. So because of that, I think Georgia Tech's going to struggle. And I think Mike Norvell and that Florida State team, they have the offensive power. I do think they'll shut it down because they don't want to show a lot. They don't want to let everybody see their cards. So I'm with you. I like the under guy anyway, especially during midweek games.
Nobody likes the under guy. Nobody.
I like the under guy. Come on, man. But I'm definitely following you with the under.
All right. Let's talk about the second game now. We're going to stay in the ACC, and we're going to go to Clemson, Wake Forest. It's a big number. It's a really big number. I think the last time I looked at it was 33.5. Clemson laying that, and I'm gonna lay the points. I'm gonna eat them, and I'm gonna hate every bit of it. So I'm the under guy, and I'm the big number guy. And I really hate myself for it. But here's the thing: Clemson 11-4. Clemson's 11-4 against the spread last year. 6 times last year. They were favored by 30 or more points. They covered 5 times. I'm not going to overthink this. Wake Forest is a bad team. Clemson, I know they have Trevor Lawrence, my second favorite quarterback in college football. My favorite one that's active, but my second favorite college football quarterback, Justin Fields, I think is better. But that's just me personally. I just wanted to throw that jab in there. And I just think that they're going to cover the number. I hate it. I'm gonna hate watching college football on Saturday, but I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna hate it, but I'm gonna love it. So I'm going with Clemson to cover. Are you gonna fade or follow that pick?
I'm definitely going to fade you on that. You said Wake Forest is terrible. Disagree.
I didn't say terrible. I said bad.
They're average. Let's go this. We'll settle on average, but look, I'm a firm believer in Sam Hartman, their quarterback. I believe that he's the reason that Jamie Newman left Wake Forest to go to Georgia to get pressured at that quarterback position before bailing there. So I think that offense, especially with Dave Clawson, who is just an offensive wizard as a head coach, 100% on board with them having a decent offense. And if you combine a decent offense in game one against a Clemson team that's going to try to stay healthy, I just think those two things are going to work in concert together to keep this maybe a 4-touchdown game. If it's a 4-touchdown game,
still cover.
I still win. I will definitely grab those points.
And I've been burned way too many times by Dabo just not going for a late score to cover. I've been burned way too many times for me to be siding with them to cover this number. But I'm just rolling with my gut week one. That's all we can do, right? I've known you for a couple of years now, Barrett. Would you consider yourself a positive guy? You think you're positive?
Yes. If this offseason of coronavirus shenanigans in football are any indication, yes, I'm a very positive guy.
I think so too. I got the right read on you. So I'm going to bring up a new segment right now. I'm calling it Think Positive. And we are going to talk about our favorite underdogs for the week. And you get it, positive money, think positive. I don't know. All right. So who's your favorite underdog this week?
Mine's Arkansas State at Kansas State. I know Arkansas State didn't look great last weekend, but having that under their belts, having some experience, I think will help them quite a bit. And I think that offense is much better than folks realize. And they're going against a Kansas State defense that I don't think is very good at all. I do know that they have, Skylar Thompson's been there forever at quarterback, but I think because Kansas State has had, I think, a little bit more tumultuous of an offseason than maybe some others because they had to shut it down. They shut it down for longer than a lot of other teams did because of all the COVID stuff. So I thought Kansas State was overrated going in. I don't think that defense is worth anything, and I think they're going to be one of the biggest disappointments in the Big 12 this year. And while Arkansas State did struggle last weekend, I think you saw that they are able to move the football defensively. They can make a play here and there. So you're talking about if you're going for a full upset. Last time I saw it, I think it was plus 320. That seems like pretty good value to me.
That's a lot of value there for sure. My underdog, I'm going to go to the NFL. My favorite underdog this week is the Bears. They're playing the Lions. Now, hear me out here because I know there was a quarterback controversy. Mitch Trubisky, Nick Foles battling it out. Mitch Trubisky won the job, and I know that betting on Mitch is probably not smart, but hear me out here. Competition.
Okay, well, I want to hear this because I don't agree with you.
Competition breeds success, right? Who has Mitch Trubisky had to look over his shoulder and worry about the past couple of years? He's not worried about Chase Daniel. He's not worried about Mike Glennon. But you got Super Bowl champion Nick Foles. And we know if there's one thing Nick Foles is good at, it's taking someone's job and then outperforming you and making it pretty damn hard
he did all right the last
to get that job back. Yeah, so I think that competition is going to breed success. I think Mitch, not only with the Nick Foles factor, but the Bears declining his fifth-year option. This is a prove-it year for him. He's got to prove it that he can be a starting quarterback in this league. And why not get things started against a bad Lions defense who did nothing but get rid of players like Darius Slay in the offseason? I mean, so I'm just rolling. I'm rolling with Mitch. It's week one, and I think that this is just the perfect setup for him to just get things going. That's just me.
Rolling with Mitch Trubisky is ill-advised. I'll say that. You say he's got nobody looking over his shoulder, but the lack of talent is behind his shoulder.
Not to mention the Bears still have one of the best defenses in the NFL also. So Matt Stafford's not going to have an easy day there. I just think that it's just the perfect – it's going to be an ugly game, right? It's Bears-Lions. It feels like that's a Thanksgiving game every year. I don't know why we're starting.
That's the one you fall asleep on during.
That's the noon one. Yeah, that's the noon one.
You're sitting on the couch. You're like, oh, I'm going into a black hole. Good night. I'll see you 2 hours from now.
All right, Barrett. Well, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. So let's wrap things up here. Let's go with our locks for the week. I'm going to need you to lock in and tell me your lock for the week.
Alex, I'm a Falcons fan. Alex, I love the Falcons. You've seen me go crazy online during Falcons games, and in fact, in the studio when they play 4 o'clock games on Sundays, sometimes I go crazy in there. They're not very good this year. I mean, I just Seattle with under a touchdown. I know they're on the road. Home field advantage is not going to matter. I know from West Coast traveling to East Coast, typically that's tough. And typically in terms of gambling, you see the East Coast team at least cover in those situations. I just trust Russell Wilson way too much. I don't think Atlanta's secondary is going to be able to shut them down. And while I love Matt Ryan and while I love that team in general, I think the offensive line is going to struggle. I don't think Julio Jones will be as much of a factor because Matt Ryan's not going to have enough time to get to him. So I'll lay the points.
Not only that,
and not worry about it.
And not only that, the Seahawks added Quentin Dunbar and Jamal Adams. So that secondary is also going to be pretty legit this year. So I think it's just the perfect.
Sorry, Falcons fans. I hate myself too. You say we earlier in this segment we said that I'm a positive guy, and clearly now I'm not.
All right. Well, if you know one thing about what we do here on this show, I have a thing called a Glaze guarantee, and that's pretty much my lock for the week. My Glaze guarantee for week 1 of the NFL season, Chargers laying 3 points against the Bengals. I think that's a no-brainer. That's my pick for the week. And it's really simple. It really comes down to Joe Burrow, rookie quarterback. I think Joe Burrow is going to be a fine NFL quarterback. I think he's going to have a lot of success. And as a Ravens fan, I hate that he's in the division because I don't want to see Joe Burrow twice a year. I don't. But I don't mind it so much this year because he's a rookie. The Bengals are still a bad football team. And I mean, Tyrod Taylor is going to be the starting quarterback for the Chargers. He wasn't the quarterback last year, but he was in the system. He knows the guys. He knows what they're doing. He knows what they like to do. So I'm going with experience over the rookie and the bad team. I'm not overthinking week 1. I'm just not overthinking. No. That's my guarantee.
No, that's a good pick. I like that pick. I like it. Nobody's a bigger Joe Burrow fan than me. I saw that kid play 7 times in person last year, so
incredible.
Fully know what he's capable of. That Bengals team is still pretty awful. Absolutely. Although I do think Joe Mixon can do some damage.
Absolutely. All right, Barrett. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Tell the people where they can find you on social media and where they can find some of your work.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Barrett Sallee, 2 R's, 2 T's, 2 L's, 2 V's. Download the CBS Sports app. Watch CBS Sports HQ streaming on the CBS Sports app across all devices. Sirius XM on Sunday morning, wrapping up the college football day. And go check out Sportsline. $1 for your first month if you use promo code Sallee. 3 best bets was 68% against the spread last year. 68%. New stories up on Sportsline there. So I think that's the only places you can find me.
All right. Well, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram. And please like and comment on this video. Share it. Subscribe to my new YouTube channel. We're going to be having a lot of fun this year. But more importantly, hopefully, we'll be putting out a lot of winners too. So you don't want to miss out.